Are keyboard duster, air cans the answer to all your problems with your junky electric AC system? I don't know, we'll find out. Ow. Well, if you guys have been keeping up with the channel at all, you know I've been wrestling with the old Poverty Tour Chevelle electric AC kit. And in the last video, I got a whole lot of comments, some good, some bad. A lot of people know a lot more about AC than I do. And a few people commented that I need to swap the refrigerant in this thing and give it a shot. So you didn't watch the last one. This electric AC kit, man, it pulls a lot of amps, but it'll cool right now about 30 degrees less than ambient. Lots of folks said, hey, that's pretty acceptable, but man, it doesn't make for the, most comfortable cabin, if you know what I mean. So for science, I'm gonna swap to R152A, out of a duster can just temporarily and see, does that actually lower the vent temps? We're kind of on like a Mythbusters mission here, because I don't know. I mean, I think it's probably chemically pretty close to 134A, but what do I know about AC? I barely got this thing on. Just go out, do something that makes you happy, but make sure you're doing it on full blast. All right, the system has been evacuated here. We're gonna kick on the vac pump. And we are pulling vacuum. Both sides open. So I'm gonna let this guy run, I don't know. Well, we got some steam coming off somewhere. I'm gonna have to make sure all my fittings are tight, but I'm gonna let this guy run for an hour and then shut the valves, let it sit, make sure it holds vacuum. And then we'll come back, start charging the system, and just see what happens. I don't think it can get any worse if that's a positive. But we're gonna get, oh, that's coming out of this little oil fitting thing here. That's where that steam is. So all our fittings are tight. I'm sure that's normal. But keep vacuuming it down. Because a lot of you guys said I didn't vacuum when I charged it the original time, and I did. I didn't use this system. This is all new. I'll put a picture up of like what the vac system I use. Not the best. That's why I didn't film it. It's essentially like a smaller version of what you use to vac like a pipeline down. That's what we used to call them air horns. So we'd air horn the pipeline, pass compressed air through a vent that would create like a suction effect coming up out of the line. And that's, in theory, what the same thing my tool was doing to the AC system. Not the best practice. You can't gauge it. unless you maybe just put a little gauge on a port or something, which I didn't have. But this is by far the best practice. Use actual AC gauges and a vac pump. Don't use an air horn. Don't use a tiny air horn. All right, so about 24 hours later, we still got a good vacuum on each side. I've gone ahead, hooked up. This guy's got about a third left. So we want to open low side, let it suck this guy down, close. We'll purge our line. See if I can do this without freezing my hand. Maybe. This is really hard one-handed. Maybe the right hand. Yeah, there's stuff in this can. Not a lot. So we'll see. We'll see what we get out of it. So I'm gonna go ahead and do the rest of this can, hook the next one up before we start the system. Let's just get a little bit of refrigerant in it. So it's definitely sucking it down. That might be all she had. Let me load up the second can. So close the valve, we'll load up number 2. Can number 2's loaded up. Still need to open our low side. You can see it jumped pressure a lot. So what we're shooting for is about 1 whole can, and then whatever was left in that can before, like a third. So that's totally, I guess, a full fill using this R152. Let's go ahead and get the compressor kicked on. Should be safe to turn that guy on now. I do have the battery charger still on the car, and we're sitting at 80. The 134A would cool to about 60. We want to listen for our fan and our compressor. Our compressor is on. And we're hoping this low side sucks down, high side goes up. I'm going to keep monitoring it here. See what we get out of this R152. That should be a full charge. I have 1 more can just in case, but I think that's all we need. But low pressure definitely not climbing yet. Might need to start the car and get all the alternator amps going. She's getting close to 60. Just about where our 134 was, almost exactly. So even with the car running, we're getting about the correct low side reading, about 44. Our high side is not getting up to above 150. So that's a little worrisome. Okay, so I've kept the system running for a while. Our low side is dropping towards 34. High side has climbed a little bit. So that kind of indicates to me maybe we got low refrigerant. Not 100% sure, but I'm gonna just tickle a little bit more into it. See what we can do. Maybe get those pressures a little bit better. I'm gonna work on it. All right, so I charged with my last can just a hair more. We're at 36 low, in the 170 range. That's probably about as low as you want to go on your high side for this. But let's check vent temps. What do we got? Wow, well, it is a lower vent temp right now. So we're looking at, man, it's really hard to focus on this. You guys can see it. We're like 50 degrees right now, which haven't really seen that temp with the 143A or 134A. So somewhere around 50. Definitely cooled it off a little bit. Is it enough to make a difference in the car? We'll see. But this, from everything I've read, she's going down a little and might take a little more refrigerant. So our low side, 39 or so. High side's gone up a little, which is a good sign. Might just shoot just a hair bit more in it. I mean, let's see. Well, no, that's probably about right. That's about where we want it. I'm not messing with it anymore. Let's take all this stuff off, take it out on the road and see if blowing some air through the condenser gets this thing any cooler. All right, let's get this thing started. First time, every time, until it doesn't. This it's pretty good about cranking up, especially when it's cold. All right, AC kicked on. No weird odors or anything. I know I'd read on some forums about that 152A having a bitterant in it, people smelling it. I guess it's not very much because there's definitely no odor coming from the car. This is kind of one of those things I just wanted to test. We're about to be putting a new condenser, new fan. I'm shortening all the hoses. I'm giving this thing the absolute best shot. Last step, I haven't ordered it yet because I had a ton of other things I need to order from Summit. But I'm ordering the large alternator, like I think it's 220 amp. And we're putting the beans to it, if you know what I mean. Like we're giving it the best shot for this thing to survive. I'm definitely feeling decent vent temps right now. Like it doesn't feel bad. Definitely got our charge right. We had a 24-hour vacuum held on the system. So if any of you guys are questioning my vacuum skills, I got it. I didn't use my, I don't know, primitive pneumatic vacuum that it's worked in the past on everything else I've used, but this is my first electric system. On every belt-driven system I've done, that pneumatic thing works great. Like it Never had any issues with the AC system cooling. And I've done 2 vintage airs and countless old junky AC systems. But from the looks of it, lots of other people have had electric AC, like vent temp issues. The one guy I saw, I think it's like a Honda Civic, he's got some good videos, and he was at 60, just sitting at 60 vent temp, and that was with the hood open and a fan blowing on the condenser, like an external fan in his shop. So I'm gonna give it till we get to the freeway, and we're gonna look at our vent temps. I'm trying to give this thing a little bit of time. If it's gonna cool down more, let it do it. And since we're in here, let's just get on it. Man, this car is fun. All right, coming to our turnaround. Sure, these people love me turning around in their driveway about every other day. I try and be real respectful and just barely put my front tires on their driveway. Otherwise, I'll be in the ditch. Okay. All right, vent temp. Hard to see, guys. Hard to focus on here. We're looking at, man, that is 50. That is 100% 50 degrees. So, maybe that's the best shot. So 60's right here, 40's right here, needle's right in the middle. So I'm guessing we did get about 10 degrees of vent temp lowering our 152A. Is that enough to make this thing perfect? No. 50 is not low enough. We need really like 40 where the gauge is colored. I think that's probably your optimal vent temp. So let's go ahead, cruise on back to the house, go over what the rest of our upgrades are gonna be. All right, so what did we find out here on our Mythbusters AC episode? So I had a lot of comments. Swap the refrigerant out. Swap the R134A for R152A, like the air duster refrigerant. Fix all your problems. And you know what? It's totally not a silver bullet for all the problems this AC has, but I did see lower vent temps. So I saw about a 10 degrees change in vent temps. It's a little bit cooler today. That could have something to do with it, but let's say it's 5. It is something. So I'm gonna give it, you know, not busted or true, but the third option, plausible. So is it plausible that the refrigerant in this car is making it a little bit cooler? Yes, I believe so. And I don't recommend anyone changing to this type of refrigerant. It's not necessarily designed for this system. I just kind of wanted to be a guinea pig, test it, and see if there is any difference, because lots of folks in the comments told me, hey, this is what's gonna fix it, or this will help at least. I would say it's probably better to just run whatever refrigerant is recommended for the system. This thing, I held it on a vac for 24 hours, you know, and just charged it to right at the ideal low pressure, high pressure side. I think this is kind of just the way this system is designed right now. This is as good as it's gonna get. The condenser is very small, and I think by enlarging the condenser, putting a bigger fan, we can get more heat out of the system, possibly get a colder vent temp. That's gonna be one of the things I try next. So shortening all the hoses. So my low pressure, it's just coiled and coiled and coiled. There was so much line, and I didn't want to cut it and trim it and do everything right until I realized, you know, is this thing actually gonna work at all? When I put this thing in, I wasn't positive it would blow even cool air out, not let alone cold. So I'm gonna trim all the hoses, put a larger condenser, bigger fan, and eventually we will upgrade alternator. So next upgrade will be condenser and hoses, and I'll evac, you know, all the 152 out of the system. This was just a very short temporary, let me do a little Mythbusters action on this and see, because, you know, we do this stuff to kind of figure out what works and what doesn't work. You know, let's put some stuff to the test and try and learn something. And I definitely think we kind of learned something, like, you know, this isn't the fix to all your problems, changing the refrigerant. You know, there's other stuff you need to take into account. But I hope everyone learned something from this, you know, took something in, you know, maybe it can help you designing your AC system. So I know there's a lot of folks out there that just, they don't have the option for a belt drive, don't have the option to pay for vintage air or a new accessory drive to run a vintage air. And that's the boat I'm in. So I have a 1-ton accessory drive from like a 99 1-ton. And the compressor, where it sits on the accessory drive, is like 4 inches above the hood line. So even with a cowl hood, it's not gonna fit, you know? So please stop telling me that in the comments. That one's getting old. It won't bolt in and be able to shut the hood. I could run hoodless and have 99 1-ton AC running. But hope you guys have enjoyed this, and if you could, like, comment, subscribe, please, in the comments. And if you got other ideas, let me know, because this is helping my content a lot. I read everything you guys put, and this video comes specifically from multiple comments about this type of refrigerant. I'll try it, shoot it out there. If I think it's something that could work, man, I'll give it a shot. I don't care. All I got's time and content to shoot. But please, like, comment, subscribe, hype. And until you see me again, just go out, do something that makes you happy. Make sure you're doing it on full blast. Not like this AC system. It's not full blast. Not yet.